What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hot Seat. We have a pretty interesting topic today, so let's just get right into it. So I read this article probably like last week or so. It's a very, very old article, and considering that we're newlyweds, I thought it was very important. And I'm starting to change my perspective on things, and I'm feeling we need to get a divorce.
No.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very lucrative and financial investment if we go ahead and just cancel the name change, file the paperwork for a divorce, all of those things. Just go against our biblical principles, all for the sake of saving money.
No.
I think it's good though. And so I just wanted to share with you guys this article. Being realistic though, it is I don't know, a conundrum. I don't know, a balance of good and evil in a sense, because spiritually, I don't plan on ever divorcing this woman that I have married.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever plan on doing it, but I can see why a lot of people see it as a strategic move to go ahead and get a divorce, because it helps them. It helps the non-breadwinner. It helps when you get closer towards retirement when it comes to Medicaid and medical benefits. It helps with filing out FAFSA for that person who makes less, that they'll get more money when it comes to them going to school, getting more federal aid. So there's a lot of different things involved as to the reason as to why. But then being Christians, how many of us are actually doing those things? Because from a biblical standpoint, that is not a justifiable reason to get divorced.
So I also had the pleasure of reading this article, and it doesn't apply to everybody. You have to make an immensely large amount of money.
Not necessarily.
According to the article, you have to be in the 37th percentile.
No,
which is like
it's
a
not
whole
30.
lot of...
It's the 37% tax bracket.
Whatever. 37% something.
Well, regardless, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, from the article, it is based on income. So you have people who are well over $1 million when they're filing joint. But if you look at it from a smaller perspective, if you're married to someone who has tax debt, just because they make $40,000, they might have $80,000 in tax debt. That's still like a reason as to why you will want to strategically divorce, because you don't want your tax return getting sucked up to cover somebody else's debt, and now you have nothing coming to the house every single year because you fell behind.
But you don't have to file it together. What is it, jointly, or whatever they call it?
Depending on the situation.
I'm saying, like, if that's the case, you don't have to. It's a choice to file jointly.
But a lot of people don't understand the ramifications for not filing jointly. So you and I have different last names. We have, our own situation on how we're filing in 2019 as single and then head of household. I'm single because I was under somebody else's household, but you're head of household because you have a qualifying child and you're by yourself.
Okay.
And your address is only used for you. My address was used for another tax preparer's address, so I can only file single with a dependent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, the tax bracket is different, the credits are different. You just gotta be aware of those things. A lot of people don't understand when you do your W-4 that you have single, you have married filing jointly, you have head of household, and you have married filing separately.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that if you're eventually going to be married filing jointly because it works better in your favor to do so together, then what you want to do is throughout the entire year, you can just file, have your W-4 and those withholdings married file single, which is at a higher tax rate. So it's like the highest tax rate you can get for married folk.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can file jointly because each of you individually have given as much as you possibly can, because it makes more sense for you to file together.
Why? See, they didn't talk about that in the article. So I'm like, just don't file together. Yeah.
No.
There you go.
Because you have because you have deductions where it makes sense of doing it together, married together. You have a higher deduction, standard deduction also in comparison to whatever your income is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're someone who only makes, let's just say $5,000 a year, and you're single, then you're going to get taxed at the standard. No, I'm not even going to say that because the standard deduction has risen. So let's say it's 15 in comparison. 15,000 is the how much you make, and 12,000 is the standard deduction.
Okay.
Now, if you are filing with somebody, now it's 24,000 in comparison to your 15. So the standard deduction is now larger than what you make. You're going to get money back, more back. As to depending on doing, trying to itemize just to get as much as you possibly can because you're so close to the standard deduction. Like you got that 3,000 wiggle room, and then you're trying to go above that, but you're single, so it's kind of hard because you ain't got no kids. So if you're married, then now your standard deduction is larger than what you make. You have a greater chance of getting more money. So it's not just about the household size, because in this one, joint filing owners, if you're above 600,000, comparison to 2019, then that's where they were saying that it makes more sense to have a strategic divorce, because you're making so much that you're in the 35 to 37% tax bracket. So that way you divide it up, and then you're now in a lower tax bracket by yourself. Yeah. So it's kind of like a some people call it like a marriage penalty. I'm gonna say exactly what it says in this article. So we have Senator Warren and Bernie Sanders were talking about wealth taxes, and so they were going around the so-called strategic divorce to avoid that levy. So pretty much trying to prevent people from doing that. So they have the so-called marriage penalty. So that is a higher tax liability after a high income couple files jointly, kicks in for taxpayers with taxable income in the 37th percentile. So that's above 600,000 according to the numbers for 2019. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we're trying to get there, Every step we take, hopefully we're getting closer and closer to it.
Hopefully.
So I thought it was interesting because it's like, if we plan on getting to that level, there's only two ways this could go. Because not everyone, I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
Okay.
When it comes to taxes. So there's a lot of tax professionals that are out there that can help guide you, but they cost.
Okay.
So we're not millionaires.
No.
These are people who are thousandaires that are making above 600,000. So millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires, they can afford, tax attorneys, they can afford, tax professionals and advisors to be pretty much on payroll to make sure every move that they make outside of taking care of the household, or sometimes inside taking the household, is all write-offs. And so that's a real science to trying to understand. It's actually an art form to understand the tax code. So for a lot of people who don't have a discretionary income to just throw away at these people and make sure they're making the right steps, I can see why a lot of people will go with the strategic divorce. Just get the divorce because I can't afford to pay someone to monitor everything that I'm doing, my income, plus my investments, plus my retirement, because those are all tax deductions too. So it's like, it's a big old world out there.
So I'm understanding a little bit more, and I could see the benefits, because
And that's just the beginning of it. That's just Uncle Sam, trying to not pay Uncle Sam as much as you possibly can. So, as I said before, just to go further in depth with it, like people who have $1 million, if they file individually, now they're saving like $1,000 on their taxes. And so when you get to that income level, you're not thinking about, you know, easy day-to-day things that you typically can't control. I mean, it's like, oh, I'll just go buy this or go buy that, because you don't have to worry. So your worry is more on, dang, these taxes, that's a huge tax bill. What can I do to reduce my tax bill?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you see a lot of these reality shows or these famous people having like 500 people baby showers, because it is they're more than likely being advised that you need to get rid of some money,
Right.
because tax time is coming.
Right. Okay.
And a lot of the smarter ones, they'll have them take out every quarter money for taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll base it on what they made that quarter to make sure they're prepared for the real payment at the end of
Right.
the year. Or they gradually send them in early, so they can send them in early, and so when they actually do file, they just take from that pocket that they've already been sending to the IRS, which is another form of sheltering your money that a lot of people use in the event of getting an actual real divorce, to hide money from the other spouse.
Oh, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, let me just claim all that money back now.
Right.
Now that the divorce is over, and it could be like $300,000, $600,000, and then the wife or the husband's like,
I never knew.
yeah. So that's another way of sheltering your money. But a lot of people are focused more on not giving up a lot to the IRS.
Right.
So that's where you reach that level, you start thinking of those things. And so another thing that people use is, the article was talking about, was retirement benefits was one of the things that they start to weigh, because when you are married, you're allowed to contribute to your spouse's retirement.
Right.
But the moment you're divorced, you lose that benefit.
Right.
And same thing goes with medical coverage. So there's the Cobra, and Cobra's far as I know, it's expensive because you want to retain the health coverage that you're already used to.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it sounds like that's a choice, because you could go with Medicaid or whatever the name of it is. I'm not of age yet, so I'm not there. So Medi-Cal, Medicaid,
Right.
whatever it is, that is your medical insurance.
Right.
So my grandmother uses that, and she doesn't pay anything, and she's
Right.
had everything taken care of, and she didn't have to continue to spend $24,000 on average every year for medical benefits.
But that's because she's of age.
Yeah.
You know.
So what can you do before then? Prior planning prevents poor performance. So us being minority, we have to eat better.
Well, yes, there are
You
those.
gotta exercise. You gotta do these things. All the things Big Mama did.
Right. So there are those things that you can control, but there are also things that you cannot control.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah. And heart surgery is not cheap.
No.
That stuff's expensive.
Yes.
Well, Big Mama had all that stuff covered.
Anesthesia alone.
So she's had all of those things covered, while I'm over here getting hit with medical bills.
Well, yeah. And that's
So
because you're not of age to take
Yes.
go the government assisted route, and,
Mm-hmm. So those are like other things that the article was talking about. You have like business interests. So these are like ramifications and things that you could lose out because you're doing this. So that's where the whole retirement benefits, that's a huge effect right there, because now you're the lesser income. You can't contribute as much in preparation for you retiring. So you're going to always end up short, where the higher earner, it was there to help you, but now,
now they can't.
divorce, and you can't do it anymore. Health insurance was another one. You have business interests. So when it comes to divorce settlement, who's going to retain control of the business? How are you going to split the profits? Depending on the state, it's 50-50 right down the middle. So you lose your voting power, and now you're arguing with the person because it could go left. So that's just crazy stuff you got to think about.
Yeah, your strategic divorce could become a real one.
It could become a real one, because money, that's the crazy thing about this, because money is one of the leading factors in divorce, and now you've chosen to make this an issue all to save on taxes. So I was just like, nah.
Is it really worth it?
Is it worth it?
And that's just the worldly
Yeah.
viewpoints. Because as you said, biblically speaking, saving money for taxes is not a reason for divorce. It's nowhere in there. Nowhere at all.
So considering all of that, now you guys know, like, ooh, those could be trouble. But again, your child could have more money for college.
Or
you could save money on taxes.
Or
So you mean lower assets, don't have as much.
Prior
Your
planning.
your ailing spouse is in need of additional support for like the nursing home or whatever the case may be, and being single will help the ailing spouse because they went from being attached to $1 million or 50,000 or 100,000 to zero because they weren't working, so they qualify for all the government help and all of this stuff.
Assistance.
Yeah, or what?
Prior planning prevents poor performance.
That is very, very true.
So you can you can plan for retirement and the possibility of declining health before it actually happens.
Yes, you can. And another great tool to use is planning to make sure you have a financial advisor involved to help you. So you are prepared. So over at Wilson Financial, they do all these types of things. They make you you're prepared for your retirement. It makes you prepare for your taxes to maximize your refund, minimize your tax liability to the best of their ability, giving what tools, what income, and all these deductions that you provide to them. They carry you through the day. They help you through the week, through the month, to make sure you make any types of adjustments. So we have not only myself, but a few other people that are involved to make sure that you're set when it comes to taxes, when it comes to your budgeting, when it comes to strategizing with your business, make sure you have a great plan, marketing, different ideas and how to execute them to ensure that you maximize your audience, which opens the door to sponsorships and all types of things. So it's pretty good. It's a slow growth. We're under here, but we trending up. So
there you go.
Yeah, we're at the bottom of the bottom, but we slowly growing. So yeah, you just got to keep all of those people in mind. You got to have your financial advisor as well that covers your investments and your retirement. Your personal financial coach. That's Wilson Financial. That's there for you. You have all these different people out there that you can use as a resource to make sure you're prepared for whatever could happen, and not open the door to try to have a strategic divorce, and then that actually affects the family, because then everybody's wondering why your last name ain't the same no more. Like all of this silly stuff. So yeah, you want to make sure you do the right thing.
Follow the 5 P's.
And when you make a decision to get married, you just gonna get married. You don't need the divorce unless there's a reason.
A biblically sound reason.
There's a reason for divorce.
Yes.
I mean, getting divorced for greed is terrible. That's a capitalistic approach, and we know how many troubles that has caused. That's a domino effect for real.
Yes.
Capitalism led to the enslavement of people, taking land from people. This just led to racism, led to killing, led to police brutality, led to families without fathers, and all of these different types of things, all because I need money. I need more land. I need control. More is terrible. Have you ever heard less is more?
Yes.
And with less being more, it's a great thing because jet lag is key. They make sure your wallet has less in it. But depending on what you put in there, it's a lot in here. Because you can put your credit cards, your debit cards, and we know what those limits be looking like. 6 cards could be 100,000.
Hey.
Plus your debit card could be another $200. So you just got money all in here. I'll hold 6 to 7 cards. So this is jet lag. This is the wallet. This is the perfect wallet for every man. Comes in this color, comes in black. I have a black one on the way because it's just that awesome. Just
Sleek
gotta
design,
have it.
easy access.
It almost feels like it's solid metal. It's really sturdy. It feels like it. Yeah. Compact, sleek, slim, slippery. You know, so it gets easy in, easy drop out of the pocket. I mean, if you ever lose this, it's okay because there's nothing but cards in here. So, hey, you can't put cash in here, and you wouldn't want to. You can't cancel cash. You can cancel your card. Make sure you're secure just with a quick call or use your phone and cancel your card. I mean, there's ways to protect yourself. So make sure you head over to jetlaggo.com. You're going to want to use that promo code. Yes, the promo code is real. It gets you 15% off. What's the promo code? The promo code is Floydell.
Floydell.
_15.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Floydell _15. Naturally.
It'll get you 15% off. So you want to hurry up and get that order in, especially for the fathers out there. I know we used to be terrible with the big old brown or black leather wallets. They ain't even leather. They ain't even leather no more. They done torn up all around the edges and the creases. They ain't got wrinkles. So you want to get something that ain't gonna have no wrinkles. Solid. So yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
Jet lag.
We just wanted to talk about strategic divorce because we're on the topic, and just want to let you guys know that the episodes are coming. They're going to be released one by one, getting different perspectives from the parents that we've spoken with. My parents, her mom, how it was great, how it was terrible, how it's a work in progress, you know.
How?
Just how. Only because we want to be equipped for the worst case scenario. I think we're prepared for the best case scenario because the best case is the best case. That means no more worries. Hakuna Matata. That's what that is. That's the best case. Everything is good. You know, you might have a little tweak of the ankle every now and then as you walk in life together, but
yes.
Good thing I have a nurse here. She can wrap the ankle up. So yeah.
Silly.
Thank you guys for joining this little quick strategic divorce topic. I thought it was interesting to go ahead and talk about this because
think about it. Is it really strategic?
Is it strategic?
Sound? Is it really?
Does it make sense? Is it really gonna work for you? If it does, whatever works for you is whatever works for you.
Yes.
But it ain't happening over here.
No, not gonna work for us.
The prenup might, but not strategic divorce.
Not that either.
All right, so thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.